Well, Holy Family Cluster, we did it. We made it to Holy Week. My name is Neal, and I'm the Director of Catechesis and Evangelization for our cluster. I just wanted to spend a little bit of time with you today talking about some of the ways that even though we're not able to come together and celebrate within the church walls, how we can still make this the best Holy Week ever with our families from home. So the first big thing that I want you to do as we get into Holy Week is I want you, if you haven't already, to designate a specific spot in your house as a place for prayer. A lot of people will call this like an at-home prayer altar, an at-home prayer space. Pick a spot in your house that you can designate as solely for the purpose of prayer, both individual and as a family. My wife and I have a very simple prayer space put together, and we have a few statues, a few icon images, a standing crucifix, and then of course our rosaries and Bibles nearby, just as a really easy way for us to be able to go into a separate area of our house and focus our energy on the Lord. It's also really easy, if you have the space, to maybe put your laptop or your phone or a TV in that little space on Sundays when you stream Mass. So that way you're engaged in prayer in the same area that you usually are, but this time you're focusing in on celebrating the Mass along with Father as we're streaming it together. Another great idea is to physically dress up before you stream or watch Mass. If we just stroll out of bed and we're in our PJs and we got a bowl of Rice Krispies or whatever it is with us, and we're gonna sit down and watch the Mass, it's pretty hard for especially for kids to be able to understand that what we're still trying to do is we're still trying to worship God, even if it's not in the normal way where we go to church and we celebrate that way. We're still worshiping the Lord, and we're still trying to focus our energies on Him. And so it can be really valuable if you still get dressed up like you're going to go out and go to church. Take the time to dress yourselves like you're presenting yourselves to the Lord on any other weekend. So in addition to having an awesome prayer space within your house, it's also really beneficial to have a set designated time of the day when you can pray together as a family or individually, or both. Both are great. Do both. Have a set time when you can pray individually and a set time when you can pray as a family. For a lot of people, that time every day is in the morning, starting off your day with prayer, or it's in the evening, ending your day with prayer. Either works, both are great. And it's really up to you to decide what's best for you individually and for you as a family. So find a time that works best for you, but stick to it. It's got to become like a habit. It's got to be something that you're doing every single day. It's just like if you have a gym membership and you're really bad about getting there. Well, the number one thing that your coaches, your fitness people tell you is that you just got to make it a habit. You just got to start doing it. And it's the same thing with prayer. If we don't make time for it, if we don't have a set place where we feel comfortable speaking with the Lord in our own homes right now, it's just not going to happen. So we have to make that a priority. Another great idea is to really immerse yourself in the Triduum this year. Now, the Triduum is Holy Thursday, you have Good Friday, and you have Holy Saturday. And while we might not be able to come together to the church to celebrate these liturgies, you can stream all of them online on our Facebook page. And some of the traditions that go along with each of those liturgies we might not be able to do in the church, but you can certainly still do them from home. Before the Triduum even begins on Wednesday evening of this week, maybe as a family you can celebrate kind of a miniature Seder Passover meal. So that can include eating some lamb as a family, drinking some grape juice for the kids, some wine for the adults, some bitter herb salad, sitting down on the floor and having a sort of like reclining at table like what Jesus and his disciples would have done, as well as maybe including some unleavened bread as part of that meal, just to imitate the Passover meal that Jesus and his disciples would have shared with each other. On Holy Thursday, a common tradition that we do within the Catholic liturgy at Mass is that the priest will wash the feet of some of the parishioners. Well, maybe at home, parents, maybe you want to wash your children's feet as a gesture. Maybe kids, you want to wash your parents' feet as a gesture, similar to what Jesus did with his disciples. On Good Friday, we typically venerate the cross. You might not be able to come into the church to venerate the cross, but maybe what you can do from home is venerate another crucifix or cross that you have within your house somewhere. And on a Holy Saturday, the night before the resurrection, as we sit and anticipate that glorious event, an idea that you might be able to do is really kind of try and impose a night of silence after you finish streaming the Easter Vigil Mass or when it's time for bed. See if your kids can do kind of like a miniature silent retreat kind of night as we wait for the joy of Easter that morning on Sunday. The Lord wants to be with you this Holy Week. He wants you to know of His presence in your lives. And He wants you to feel and understand and recognize the joy that comes in Christ's resurrection. I just pray that all of you who are watching this video might be encouraged to take some of these steps or come up with steps of your own to make this the best Holy Week ever. Because imagine if you make this a week that's powerful and meaningful to you and your families, even in the midst of all of the craziness of the pandemic. Just imagine how much more the Lord is going to be able to work in your hearts when we're able to gather again to celebrate Holy Week together one day. I'm praying for you, I'm praying for your families, and just know that if there's anything that I can do in this time, please reach out to me. I'm more than willing to help, and so is the rest of our cluster staff. So we just pray that you, again, have the best Holy Week ever. God bless you.